Hi there guys, what's going on today? I'm gonna try to make a video about a subject, so it's a daily video. So the topic that I decided to talk about today is push-ups. Push-ups is such a famous exercise, obviously, in the bodybuilding world, and when you don't have any equipment, that's one of the first things that you're going to do. And the push-ups obviously are an exercise famous for chest, obviously. Triceps as well, just like a bench press is, you know, chest and triceps are the two main muscles that you use with shoulders. And then obviously as a whole, you know, you obviously use other muscles to stabilize when you're doing the exercise. But, you know, if we talk about push-ups, it's always gonna be an exercise for chest first and foremost. So is push-ups enough to develop a good chest? You know, that's probably a question that a lot of young lifters want to know as they are starting the gym, because that's one of the first things they can touch on when they're starting. And so I probably asked myself this question as well when I started, hoping that even though I wouldn't join a gym, I would still be able to develop a good chest doing push-ups. So unfortunately, my answer won't be probably the ones that you're looking for, but it's not just a straight answer. There are many things to take into account. I think for the vast majority of people, developing a good chest through push-ups is gonna be hard, because I think to scale up and progress on push-ups can get harder over time with certain obstacles, but also because maybe simply your body morphology might not be adapted to the movement. So some people will be able to grow with push-ups, and others it's gonna be much harder. So first of all, some people will have, you know, a good body morphology where they have a big thoracic cage, and, you know, they don't have specifically shoulders that will take over their chest exercises, neither triceps. And in this case, usually if you do push-ups, that you have pretty short arms, that you have big thoracic cage, yes, you could build a good chest with push-ups, because you're gonna stretch the muscle enough and it's gonna be an interesting exercise for you. But for certain people who have big triceps or shoulders taking over their chest, this is the kind of exercise where you're really not gonna really stretch your chest. And bench press is already not a very good exercise for these people, but push-ups are even worse, because I feel like when you actually go down, the movement is not really made in a way that you're gonna be able to stretch even when you go full range of motion. But you're gonna be able, with, for example, the bench press, to go a bit lower and to really stretch the chest. And so with the push-ups, it's even, in my opinion, a bit more limited. So even, you know, if you have your shoulders behind, that you really try to just have your chest taking basically on the movement, it's still gonna be hard, in my opinion, for the people who don't have the body morphology for it to actually develop a chest through push-ups. I think that people who, like me, have big triceps, for example, and struggle to feel their chest on a bench press movement, will have to go rather on a decline type of bench press or, you know, push-ups, and actually try to do other exercises like flies, where really the triceps are not involved, the shoulders really not as much, and the exercise really focuses on the chest. Some people just don't really have the right body morphology. So to be able to basically build chest with push-ups, you will have to have the right body morphology for it, which is pretty rare. Even for the people who have a decent morphology, you will often have to have another exercise for chest where you really try to isolate the muscle, like flies. It's gonna be very hard just with an exercise like push-ups to stretch enough the muscle and to really isolate the muscle and actually build a good chest if, you know, the morphology is not there for that. It's similar with other muscles. For example, some people, when they do their back, they have such big biceps that they will, despite trying to, you know, isolate the back, will still gain in their biceps. And so it is the same here, in a sense that if you're not made to build muscle with an exercise like push-ups, you simply won't. This is not the only issue that I see with push-ups in general. The issue is that if you're gonna do this alone at home, it's gonna be hard to scale up and to progress. One of the main driver of muscle growth in the gym is that you have enough weight to actually progress. You have infinite amount of weight where you can always go above and start improving. And so on the bench press or any other exercise, you can always add 1.5 on the side and, you know, go along with this progression scheme. With push-ups, you have to do the same. It's obvious that you have to do the same to keep improving. The weight, you have to get stronger on the exercise you're doing if you want to obviously build more muscle. And with push-ups, the only way to do this is obviously to add some weight on your back. So there is more, well, resistance and there is more weight added. You're trying to, you know, gain strength and gain muscle over time, progressive overload. And unfortunately, it's gonna be hard by yourself to actually scale up on this exercise. You will be able to add a backpack, for example, with some weight, but at some point, the only way that I see people still going heavy on push-ups are when they're actually in the gym and that they ask a mate to actually put some plates on their back. It's very hard to do this alone. It's quite an obstacle. It's hard to do this by yourself with a lot of weight. It usually moves, so it's very hard to actually keep it on your back, even when someone actually put it on your back. So imagine when you're alone how hard this is. This is why the push-ups, in my opinion, is a tough exercise to improve with. It will be a good exercise to start, obviously, the gym if you're a young person and that you wanna start developing some muscles like your triceps, your shoulders, and your chest. But in the long run, it's gonna be hard to improve with push-ups unless you're willing to basically actually, well, go to a gym, which is usually the thing that people who wanna do push-ups don't want to go to. But to basically ask someone next to you to actually add some load to your back so you can do push-ups that are harder and harder over time and so you can improve. And the push-ups, the issue with body weight is that people who want to just do body weight don't realize that at some point they will stagnate if they don't actually try to add some load, some weight load. So for example, if you want to improve with push-ups or pull-ups, well, pull-ups in this example, you have to buy a belt at some point and you have to obviously add some weight and try to obviously improve. And it's doing this that in the end you will be able to smash your PB on how much reps as possible that you can do with no weight at all and just max pull-ups. And it's the same with push-ups. You actually gonna at some point stagnate if you don't add weight over time on your back and try to scale up. You know, you might get to 30-35 push-ups just full body weight, but it's gonna be very hard to go from 35 to 40 and to 40 to 45, etc. if you don't actually start putting some weight on your back, which will give you make you gain much more strength quicker and allow you to actually break your PB on how much reps you can do without any added weight. So for the people who just want to do body weight and that think, you know, oh, I don't want to add weight, etc., you're gonna get stuck at some point unless you're like a genius of how to work with like tempo and pre-fatigue and like techniques that you could possibly think about that will make things much more complicated for you when you just have to add some weight. That could still work, but you have to understand programming and training very well to actually still manage to improve without adding weight over time. Like you have to really understand other metrics that you can use to actually improve, like the tempo, the rest periods, some pre-fatigue exercises before doing your main exercises. Like it's very hard and it's pretty pointless because you could actually just add some more weight on yourself to improve. So here are the two issues that I see with push-ups. First, even for the people who have a pretty good body morphology on the push exercises like a push-up for their chest, it's still not the best exercise I think that they can do to build chest with push-ups. So imagine for the people who don't have the right body morphology, it's very hard. Now, as well, it's an exercise that is gonna be hard to scale up. You're gonna have a hard time improving on your own with this exercise unless you have someone to help you. And even if you have someone to help you, You know, you always have to ask someone, well, can you help me putting all this weight on my back, etc. It can be quite annoying for the person and just for yourself as well. So push-ups is fine until a certain point. If you really like it, then you have to do it because you also have to enjoy your training. But can you build a big chest with push-ups? That's not my go-to exercise, especially for me who doesn't have the morphology to gain muscle with push-ups, and that will mainly take on his shoulders and on his triceps. So I hope this helped you understand, you know, push-ups. It's very subjective to everyone. Some people will benefit better from it than others, but yet as a whole, it's gonna be hard to build a chest with simply push-ups, and it's gonna be only for a minority basically of people. So I hope I didn't break your dreams about the push-ups. You can still do it, and if you like it, go for it, but you know when you should use it now and when you shouldn't. That's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, feel free to share, like, and subscribe, and ask some questions in the comments below. And I will help you out as soon as I can, as always. All right, I will see you later for the next video.